Greetings, PooTube. Hello. Let's get going here. Are you chasing your own tail, you freak? Silly cat. Spinning in circles. All right. Here we go. Cool. Let's do it. Steph's already added, of course. I don't think I've got anything. Nope. Cool. Here we are. Boo, 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 boo. Pee, 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 poo, poo. All right, there we go. Bottom of the pile. Schedule. Trump and First Lady departing the White House this morning to Fayetteville, North Carolina, participating in a private military engagement of some kind. Then departing Fayetteville en route to Palm Beach, Florida. And that's about it. Oh, delivers remarks at Fort Bragg, the military families. 1:30 p.m. Participating in a private dinner of some kind. DLive has no sound. That's weird. Testing. The fuck? Testing. There it goes.
Hey, Pam, you're muted.
Yeah, I got it.
Testing. There it goes.
Thanks, bro. Yep. I'm so sick of this fucking bullshit with fucking Zoom. I fucking had it. Every time I start the shit. Stupid fucking garbage is going on. Every damn setting I've changed is like completely changed again. Thankfully my input volume looks normal. But now this time it ended up selecting a completely different mic that doesn't exist. Absolute fucking infuriating piece of shit. Pardon me. But like, what the fuck? It's just so obnoxious, man. Never had this issue ever on any other computer. I haven't done anything. It just does it. Can't figure it out. I can't figure out what to change. Tried it all. It just keeps freaking doing it. Most infuriating shit. All right. Well, anyway, now that that's fucking handled. Ridiculous. Anything else fucked up in here? Like, the hell else are they changing every damn time I start this shit? Good Lord. Nope, didn't change that, and they're doing that too. Wow. I don't get it, man. I don't freaking get it. Infuriating. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see. Let me close my AI window there. Okay. Yeah. Next up, hopefully everyone can hear me properly. Nope. And now look at this shit. Now the desktop audio isn't playing on YouTube. Fuck, man. So sick of this shit. Should not be happening. It'd be fucking seamless. God, I'm gonna throw some shit. I swear. This is so obnoxious. Fucking bullshit.
Falls short
Finally. There we go.
of their demands. Remember, Dems want 10 actions, including no masks for immigration agents and preventing DHS officers from entering private property without a judicial warrant. But Senate Majority Leader John Thune says Democrats must be willing to compromise and blames them for handing in their list too late, leaving little time for talks. Should a partial government shutdown happen, ICE will likely face a limited impact because the agency still receives funding through the One Big Beautiful Bill. There are other agencies within DHS, though, that would be more affected.
Republicans chose to put a bill on the floor that ignored the abuses, ignored the outrage, ignored what the American people want overwhelmingly. And they failed to get the votes to avoid a shutdown at DHS.
I don't support is DHS shutting down, because what's going to happen is TSA is going to shut down, FEMA is going to shut down, the Coast Guard is going to shut down. We have a lot of folks in my state who are waiting for FEMA relief from terrible tornadoes and other natural disasters that happened in the last few months.
Democrats are dug in even after border czar Tom Homan made this announcement regarding Minnesota.
I have proposed, and President Trump has concurred, that this surge operation conclude. A significant drawdown has already been underway this week and will continue to the next week. We have a lot of work to do across this country to remove public safety risk who shouldn't even be in this country.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says the drawdown is not enough. He says legislation is necessary to rein in ICE. Thune says negotiations will continue and adds lawmakers will be on call to come back if Democrats and the White House reach a deal. So this would...
Both bodies of Congress gone. Funding for DHS ceases at midnight. AOC speaking at Munich Security Conference today. Okay. House Oversight Committee closed-door transcribed interview with Jody Harpstead, former commissioner of Minnesota Department of Human Services, on Minnesota as part of grad investigation. I don't know. Fraud. I think he meant to type fraud. Didn't come out right.
So this is exciting. They're going to go shake hands with the soldiers, the special forces that pulled Maduro out of Venezuela.
It's incredible. As you know, you saw it in the movie. She is a big proponent, a big advocate for our military. She respects all of their work. And what she's going to do today with the military is really special. You'll hear her give a speech about American nostalgia, the art form of writing letters. And, you know, it's been such a long 250-year period where our soldiers write back their loved ones, their families, their wives, their husbands, and they talk about love at the core. So what she's doing is she's harnessing the concept of love of country and love of family right with Valentine's Day tomorrow. She's bringing this whole thing tomorrow for the military.
We have a soundbite, too, of our First Lady visiting those children. We see all the commercials of children that have illnesses or diseases, and it breaks your heart. And she went to go see them in person and make Valentine's Day cards for them. Here's a soundbite. Watch this.
I didn't know how to dress you like behind it, put them on, you know, like Melania. I'm telling them, like, I don't play chess, but I know Queen when I see one.
She really wants to put children first, and the unification of these children who were kidnapped in Ukraine, taken to Russia, and she's reuniting them with their family members in Ukraine. This is the third time she's done that after she wrote the letter to Putin.
Correct. That peace letter, as you know, initiated everything. It was the catalyst, and now it's created 3 reunifications of Ukrainian and Russian children and families. And it's interesting, Ainsley, if you think about it, she's making more progress in those peace dealings between these two nations than anyone. I mean, actual progress, step by step, these people are coming back together with their families. But we're not seeing that if you look at like what Europe is doing, if you look at, putting more money into the war, more weapons into the war. Our First Lady is the only one really with actual progress that you could put your finger on. So it's been pretty impressive.
All right. Scott Besson on CNBC says he thinks he has an agreement to get hearings on Kevin Warsh underway in Senate banking, despite Tillis's blockade on any Fed nominations.
Attorney General
Stephen Miller on Minnesota now.
The corrupt Attorney General Keith Ellison in Minnesota issued an edict unlawfully requiring all jails and prisons in the state to shield, harbor, and conceal criminally illegal aliens from ICE. And so with this agreement, those jails and those prisons are no longer going to obey the unlawful edict issued by Keith Ellison. Instead, they're going to follow federal law, the supreme law of the land, and hand over those criminally illegal aliens. But let's just take a moment to celebrate the fact that because of President Trump, because of ICE, because of Border Patrol, thousands of pedophiles, rapists, gangbangers, killers, murderers, the true, most violent people on the planet have been removed from the state of Minnesota. Kids are safer, families are safer, communities are safer. There's a reason why murder in this country is the lowest rate on record. There's a reason why we have seen the largest ever reduction in violent crime. It's because President Trump has unleashed federal law enforcement, including ICE, including Border Patrol, to find, identify, remove, or incarcerate the drivers of violent crime in this country. And now thousands of lives are being saved as a result.
Good. Goldman Sachs General Counsel Kathy Rumler said she will resign this summer after documents released by U.S. Department of Justice revealed the extent of her ties with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Boy, lady, what were you thinking? What were you doing? I mean, really? So what all was she engaged in? I mean, bad enough that she had to resign, so here we go. What is known about Kathy Rumler regarding her involvement in the Epstein files? I would love to know some details here. What are the revelations about her? It's digging. Let me ask the same in Gemini, too. Kathy Rumler recently been the focus of intense scrutiny following release of massive trove of documents, 3.5 million pages or so. February 12, 2026, she announced her resignation from Goldman Sachs, effective June 30th. Followed revelations that her relationship with Epstein was significantly more personal and extensive than previously disclosed. A close informal relationship, emails and documents dating between 2014 and 2019. Oh. So, well after people knew what he was publicly. Personal monikers. Oh, creepy. Referred to him frequently as Uncle Jeffrey and Sweetie in her emails. She also described him as an older brother and wrote in one email that she adored him. Lavish gifts. He apparently gave her lots of lavish gifts and, almost $10,000 Hermes bag. Oh my goodness. Jeez. $4,200 Fendi fur-trimmed coat. $1,700 Fendi bag. Paid spa treatments. Oh, and first-class travel. Wow. Must be nice. While Rumler and Goldman Sachs maintain she never formally represented Epstein, the documents show her providing informal legal counseling. This included advice on how to handle media scrutiny regarding his past crimes. Wow. And strategies for addressing accusations from survivors like Virginia Roberts Giuffre. Jeez. Unreal. More than 36 meetings indicated just by the records alone. Thousands of mentions in the Epstein database. He even attempted to call her on the day of his arrest. Presumably for legal assistance. Informal. Wow, bro. Well, no wonder. Bitch. Hag. Also, Obama adjacent. His former Obama White House counsel. Interesting. I do kind of recognize her from some Obama era something. Interesting. Okay. Oh, here's Ben's on her. Worth noting, Kathy Rumler, who fought to make John Brennan the CIA director. Okay. Maybe that's where I'm remembering her from. And then won the CIA Agency Award, was so close to Epstein that she was the backup executor of the Epstein will. Wow. Clearly pretty close. The backup executor for Epstein's will. I don't know who the primary was, but there's a whole ass thread here. Let's see. Couple of interesting notes on the reveal that Obama's White House counsel, top lawyer to the president, Kathy Rumler, emailed Jeffrey Epstein. She was awarded the CIA Agency Medal just hours after getting the award. How cool is that? She said. CIA's Hig Est. Weird misspelling here. Okay, this one, it makes absolutely no sense. Unless, is that like a phone? Nope, the H is nowhere near that. Nope. How do you do this? Unless it's like entirely intentional. Look at that. The CIA's Hig equals Est award. Like look on a keyboard. The H key, and for that matter, the Shift key, make it a capital or not, all that. Like nothing. There's nothing that's even remotely close to the equal sign up in the corner. That's like, there's something going on there. It's everywhere throughout these emails. He does it. Other people do it. Just bizarre. Clearly something going on with the misspellings and the odd grammar, and like there's some weird shit going on with that, man. Very, very odd. They're clearly communicating something. Strange. When I saw this, Benz continues, I wondered why I'd never heard this before. Her CIA agency award in 2015 was not and still has never been reported by any press outlet whatsoever. Not even a fringe one. It's not in her Wikipedia. It's not in her extensive current Goldman Sachs bio. Weird. I've covered many times, for example, how BlackRock's vice chairman proudly lists his winning the CIA's director award openly on his official BlackRock bio. Oh, yeah. The award is a big deal, and she was clearly so excited and proud of it that she rushed to tell Jeffrey Epstein mere hours after John Brennan, the director of the CIA, awarded it to her, and then sought validation from Epstein over it. How cool is that? Now this is where it gets interesting. Rumler had already left government and returned to private practice at Latham & Watkins 8 months earlier when she won the CIA Agency Medal. She was a private citizen, a civilian. So what did she win it for? And when? When did she do it? As it turns out, non-CIA civilians apparently can actually receive the CIA Agency Medal privately with no public release if they have played a meaningful role in enabling CIA operations, providing critical access, or helping clear high-stakes legal or operational obstacles the CIA faced. How recipients are selected. The process is internal and classified in detail. But the public-facing structure is one nomination submitted by a senior CIA official, often tied to a specific project, period, or institutional outcome. So, she's clear. She's obviously involved in something that was a big deal. Reviewed by CIA awards committees, vetted through directorate leadership, legal and security review, especially for non-agency personnel, which she was. Ultimately approved by the director themselves, which it was. Presentation usually private, no press release, often. Sometimes only appears years later in bios, resumes, or background disclosures, as was the case here. Interesting. Okay, so the reason the CIA doesn't publicly disclose CIA agency medal winners who are non-CIA civilians is because those winners, as nominal civilians with no CIA overlap, may not want the public to know that they covertly were helping the CIA overcome some sensitive legal or political obstacles. Oh yeah, the CIA likes working through people that can do things that the CIA, technically, legally speaking, can't do themselves. Like, you know, spying on U.S. citizens and so on and so forth, among many other things. Of course, you can't rule out simple cronyism, back-scratching. It was Rumler who fought to legally block CIA disclosures on Benghazi from Congress to save not yet CIA Director John Brennan's Senate confirmation bid 2 years before Brennan gave her the CIA agency award. Worth noting that Kathy Rimler, who fought to make John Brennan the CIA director and won the agency award, was so close to Epstein, she was the backup executor of Epstein's will. But the pure cronyism explanation doesn't sit right with me. For one, anyone can get a CIA agency award at any time. It's not once a year doled out in one batch. Brennan became CIA chief in March of 2013. He didn't give her the award until 2 years later, after she'd left government. I think, what did he say, 8 months after? Second, if Brennan had given Rumler the CIA agency medal earlier, while she was still White House counsel, she could forever after confidently share the honor publicly without needing to hide it, since everyone would presume it related to her official White House legal role in some way. Now it's possible Brennan issued her the award while she was White House counsel, but then kept it in the CIA custody until she left government. If political sensitivities or the covert operation the award related to were still ongoing, I found examples of that in classified documents. But still, something doesn't sit right. Even if you never announce the CIA agency award to the public, there's still a real benefit to getting one: privileged inside access, weight and deference, plus more opportunities channeled to you in ongoing and future CIA relationships. Oh yeah, I'm sure it opens doors. So wherever Rumler worked, when she got the award, whether it was as White House counsel or whatever she went into after, the CIA effectively had their gal in the room for all manner of informal consultation or info sharing. Well, in 2015, when she got it, she was at Latham & Watkins, a central firm in the CIA-led 2016 Russiagate affair. Yep. Latham & Watkins, man. That was fascinating. Okay, more here on Rumler.
Obama White House. On Jeffrey Epstein's 62nd birthday, he got an email from former Obama White House counsel Kathy Rumler. "Happy birthday. I hope you enjoy the day with your one true love," adding a smiley face. Epstein responded, "They say that men usually gave a name to their penis, as it would be inappropriate to make love to a total stranger." Rumler replied, "Hard to believe that there is still an open question about whether men are the inferior gender." This is one of just a few of the hundreds of emails that Rumler exchanged with Epstein during the final years of his life. Now the chief legal officer at Goldman Sachs, Rumler has said that she got to know Epstein through her work as a lawyer, and that the two were, quote, friendly in that professional context. But in the latest release of Epstein files from the Justice Department, photos of Rumler and messages between the two suggest they had a close personal friendship. Rumler discussed matters in her personal life, expressed gratitude for their, quote, friendship, sometimes concluded messages with, quote, XO and XOXO, and repeatedly found gifts from who she called at times Uncle Jeffrey. Rumler even discussed possibly visiting Epstein's private island, asking in 2017 if she could take a, quote, day trip there, with emails suggesting Epstein tried to coordinate a private jet to pick her up. It's unclear if the visit ever occurred, and a Goldman Sachs spokesperson previously said Rumler never visited the island. Rumler's PR team referred CNN's questions about her birthday exchange with Epstein to her attorney. The fact is, Miss Rumler does not make any statement about Epstein's penis. She does not reference it, she does not joke about it, she does not banter with Epstein about it, she does not accede to Epstein's unsolicited, gratuitous remarks about men and their penises. Nothing. In another message from July 2015, Rumler asked Epstein if he read a New York Times story which featured critics of sex offender registries, like the one he had been listed on for several years by then. Thinking about whether there is an opportunity there, Rumler wrote. Asked about that exchange, a Rumler spokesperson told
an opportunity there?
Critics of sex offender registries. Read a New York Times story which featured critics of sex offender registries.
Critics of sex offender registries?
Like the one he had been listed on for several years by then. Thinking about whether there is an opportunity there, Rumler wrote. Asked about that exchange, a Rumbler spokesperson told CNN, at times, Epstein sought informal advice and she provided feedback based upon her understanding at the time, without any formal involvement. Months later, Rumbler wrote that helping Epstein with his, quote, legal was important because, quote, friendships goes two ways. A spokesperson for Rumbler told CNN she, quote, has done nothing wrong and has nothing to hide. Nothing in the records suggests otherwise. Jeffrey Epstein was a man of 1,000 faces. Miss Rumbler only saw the
Well, that much is probably true.
one he put on to win people over and gain credibility and acceptance. Her views were shaped by that, and his denials of any...
But he clearly wasn't shy about it when it came to a huge number of the people that he knew. I'm sure there were people that he, around whom he reined his behavior in. I'm sure he was more than capable of doing that. He's a smart enough guy. In some ways, anyway. So who knows? But they've already lied. Like Rumbler and her cadre have already lied about her activity, downplayed it and pretended it was far less than it was. So that's not a good sign. You usually, where there's smoke, there's fire. They're hiding something.
put on to win
There's
people
something else going on there with her. Trump and First Lady Melania head to Fort Bragg to honor Special Forces.
Today, the president is going to meet with some of the special operators who took Maduro out of Venezuela. The next big thing to come out of Venezuela will be oil. The president has got his...
Yeah, buddy. I'm ready for them gas prices to go down. Oh, heck yes.
The highest-ranking administration official in Venezuela since Maduro was taken out, Christopher Wright, the energy secretary. And that has got the president now saying this. Relations between Venezuela and the United States have been, to put it mildly, extraordinary. We are dealing very well with President Delcy Rodriguez and her representatives. Oil is starting to flow, and large amounts of money unseen for many years will soon be greatly helping the people of Venezuela. The president is also watching additional naval assets steam towards the Middle East as he weighs next moves with Iran after Wednesday's closed-door meeting with Bibi Netanyahu.
We have to make a deal, otherwise it's going to be very traumatic. Very traumatic. I don't want that to happen, but we have to make a deal. They should have made a deal the first time, and they got Midnight Hammer instead. And this will be very traumatic for Iran if they don't make a deal.
And we're also now learning the administration sent up to 6,000 Starlink devices, smuggled up to 6,000 Starlink devices into Iran, according to a Wall Street Journal report.
There's a lot of Starlinks.
A few weeks ago during the uprising there because the regime turned off the main internet control, the main internet access, and so that was the best way for activists to let the rest of the world know that the regime was still in there killing people.
Okay. Oop, sorry. Here we go. Gets chilly down here. Need my blankie. Got to have the blankie, man. NASA and SpaceX launched a new mission to the ISS with 4 crew members on board to replace the team that returned last month due to a medical issue with one member.
If you remember the astronauts who had to come home early last month because of a medical issue, well, the group that launched this morning is going to replace them on the space station. It's a 34-hour trip. They should be docking on the ISS by mid-afternoon tomorrow. And I want to give you a sense now of what this crew looks like. There are 2 Americans, Jessica Meir and Jack Hathaway, a French astronaut and a Russian cosmonaut. They're scheduled for roughly an 8-month stay on the ISS, and they'll join 3 other crew members on the space station, what amounts to skeletal staffing there. Now, the next big launch here, NASA hopes, is going to be Artemis 2. You can see it on the launch pad behind me. And that's going to be a big one, the first crewed moon mission in more than a half century. But NASA's still troubleshooting what caused a hydrogen leak during a fueling test earlier this month. If they can fix it quickly, Artemis 2 could launch as soon as early next month. If you remember the astronauts who had to come home early.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay. Investigators. Oh, Nancy Guthrie. Okay. Investigators in the abduction of Nancy Guthrie have released new details in hopes of identifying the man seen on camera. This looks like from early this morning or late last night.
And good morning to you, Mike.
Good morning.
Still nearly 2 weeks after Nancy Guthrie's abduction from her home here, authorities do seem to be making at least some headway. They have a better description of the suspect. Now they're seeking more pictures of him, and they're willing to pay double in reward money.
Oh.
This morning, the FBI says it knows a lot more about Nancy Guthrie's kidnapper, the masked man who appeared on her doorstep and tampered with her security camera moments before she was taken. Agents erected this white tent over Guthrie's front door and worked inside for about an hour using height charts and what appeared to be a measuring device. The agents left with a large hard plastic case labeled Video Forensics. The suspect is now described as 5'9" or 5'10" with an average build and carrying a backpack like this one, the 25-liter Ozark Trail Hiker Pack. That model is sold at Walmart. We found one in the Tucson store for $11. The FBI said we hope this updated description will help concentrate the public tips we are receiving. The reward for information doubled to $100,000.
If you know him, been around him, work with him, lives next door to you, whatever it might be, you're going to be able to recognize that's the guy next door, or that's the guy I see at work. Somebody will know him in some capacity. And that's the tip you're looking for, because that'll take you potentially right to his door.
Investigators are now asking people who live within a 2-mile radius of Nancy Guthrie's home and everyone else in Pima County for home security camera video between January 1st, a month before she was taken, to February 2nd, the day after her abduction, seeking footage of anything out of the ordinary or important to the investigation. This neighbor told us he already looked.
We went through my cameras and we actually found the time. We didn't find any vehicles moving at that time in front of my house.
The sheriff's department said there was a suspicious vehicle on Guthrie Street between 9:30 and 11 a.m. January 31st, the day Nancy Guthrie was last seen. Authorities are analyzing 2 black gloves found near her home. The New York Post capturing these images of investigators recovering one of them. The gloves are now being tested for DNA and blood. Drops of Nancy Guthrie's blood were found near her front door.
Ooh.
On Instagram, Savannah Guthrie sharing a snapshot of her childhood with her mother, writing, "Our lovely mom, we will
Oh, boy. Just hamming it up.
never give up on her. Thank you for your prayers."
This whole thing is just so bizarre.
Hope.
The family is trying to hold on to hope after 2 weeks without their mother. But Rebecca, we're hearing from sources close to the inner circle of family and friends around Savannah Guthrie, and they're describing this growing feeling of frustration, both with the pace of the investigation and the limited information coming from authorities. Rebecca?
Yeah, and Aaron, you just hope with all of this attention that someone can come forward with an answer that leads to the safe return of Nancy. All right, Aaron, thank you.
Okay. Oh, shit. What was I going to pull up? Oh, well, forgot. There was something I was going to look at, but Dubai's DP World replaces CEO after Epstein links emerge. Man, here more and more and more. It's good. People are like looking into all the names that are popping up there and connections that are inadvertently kind of seeping out of this. I mean, I found that one on Instagram just the other day. It didn't look like anyone had hardly found it. What was her name? Kira Kachiar? Diktyar. Kira Diktyar. This lady was talking about young girls with Epstein. What did she say? Something about the youngest girls or something? Look at this. Look at this stuff. She's an odd-looking one, too. Oh, boy. Creepy. Where'd the other picture go? What? Where's the other picture of the bear? Oh, it's a video? Come on. Come on. Jeez. I don't know how they allow half of this shit on Instagram, man. Yeah, I was digging through her. I was digging through her Instagram a bit last night. I was trying to go back like far, just to see maybe around the time frame when she would have been chatting with Epstein. But golly, she posts a lot. I kind of gave up after, a couple minutes of just scrolling and scrolling. All right, when does... Let's scroll for another few here, and then we'll check the date. My goodness. Come on now. All right, give me one of these we can check the date on. We'll just try this. That was not even a year ago, so... Jeez. Instagram have like a filter feature? Nope, of course not. That would be too easy. Yeah, I would like. I'm really curious to see if she's got any photos like with people who happen to be also Epstein adjacent, like any visible connections that can be pulled from her social media here. But god dang, it's just so... There we go. We're finally just over a year ago. And how, I don't know when she joined Instagram, probably a long time ago. Got 1.2 million followers, so apparently a rather well-known model. Seems to be based in the DC area. Oh, I missed this. She's got a website. What's this? Let's check that real quick. So her name popped up in the photo of Bondi's notes. Here, let me find the photo.
And the harm.
This one.
Survivors in the room. If you are willing, please stand.
Not the one where... There it is. The one that they're making a big deal about, like freaking out over, apparently, the fact that the DOJ is monitoring everything that all the Congress people are searching for. Each congressperson has their own login. They go to specific computers that were set up specifically for this. Then they log in, so this is tied to their name. And everything that they search for, everything they've looked at, all the files they've pulled up, all the search terms that they've used are apparently being logged. Really interesting. You can only imagine what kind of data they're pulling from that. Guarantee you it's going to be useful. Very, very useful. Not to mention just really, really interesting. Hopefully it becomes public eventually one day. I imagine they're probably using it for investigations and coming prosecutions. Let me see if they zoom in on it here. Yeah, there you go. So look at that. The document is labeled Jayapal Pramila Search History. And it lists every document that Pramila Jayapal was looking at. It lists the document code ID number right there, along with a brief description of what was in it. And one of them is this email from Kira Diktyar to Jeffrey Epstein. I found at least 3 very good young girl, but we was so tired. I will cover up this week. I don't know what that means. Cover up what? Your chest? Or like your crimes, or what would that be? Meet this one, not the beauty queen, but we both likes her a lot. So she's apparently sending him an ugly one, sending him a photo of a girl that's not a beauty queen. But I don't know who we both is. We both likes her a lot. Probably for other reasons, obviously. If she's not a beauty queen, she must make up for it in other ways. Obviously. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Creepy. So yeah, that's Kira Diktyar. Oh, and you know what? Something I haven't actually done yet is looked up the document ID there. Let me do that. EFTA 250 4630. This one must not be public yet. Yep. Yeah, must not be public yet. It's part of the, well, I guess obviously part of the most recent load that just the Congress people are able to look at for now. Boy, I bet they're worried about this. Well, clearly they are. They're freaking out about it very loudly. The fact that all of their activity has been monitored all this time. Every release, which has been done this way, where the Congress people are able to look at everything in unredacted form first, able to search it. All of it's been watched and tracked and logged. Filed away for, future use. Every time they searched for their own name to make sure they didn't, pop up anywhere uncomfortable. Searched for friends' names, donors' names, people who probably paid them lots of money, donated lots of money to their campaigns as they pay a payment to have them make sure nothing uncomfortable came out of those Epstein files. Yep. Or at least that they were given a heads up, paying off for a heads up, a tip off that something bad is coming. Guarantee you, a ton of them have been doing this. A whole bunch of them have been doing this. That's why they're freaking out over it. In fact, let's pull some of that up. Can we see some of the freaking whining over Jayapal's search history?
Photograph for you to take a look at. These are notes that the Attorney General brought to the hearing today. Okay, it was captured by a photographer who was in the room. And this shows a list of Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, you saw her in some of those clips, of her search history. And this, of course, lawmakers are allowed now to go to a DOJ facility, to sit down at a computer, and to search unredacted files. We have learned from this photo that the searches that members of Congress are performing are apparently being tracked and then read by the Department of Justice, by the Attorney General. What do you make of that development?
Well, it's a surveillance of Congress by the Trump administration. It's wholly improper.
Another photograph for you to take.
That is Zoe Lofgren. Tag. Complaining.
What the Attorney General of the United States brought to the hearing today, specifically about the Congresswoman, because I think it's important. Congresswoman, were you aware that you were being, and not just you, it seems, but if they've tracked you, I would believe it's they tracked other people. So were you aware of this, one? And two, have you reached out to the Department of Justice, specifically the Attorney General's office, to follow up and ask, what the hell was that?
Well, I absolutely will be doing that. We're in the process of working on a letter right now. All of us.
Can I just say, because there are people watching that are going to say, they're always sending a letter. A letter is how you register.
That's how we register our dissent. But also, you might have seen that Mike Johnson even said he thought it would be completely inappropriate if it was true that the Department of Justice, I don't know what words he used, I'm going to use my words, was spying on us, because that's what this was. I mean, we have a separation of powers, which means that we need to be able to do our legislative duty, and for us to go in to review the Epstein documents and then to know that they have kept the search history of exactly what we searched for. And why was it that she brought that in her binder, which we call her burn book, right? Was she going to use that against me? Did they get that document for every single person? And what were they going to do?
Why would she be able to use it against you, ma'am? What could there possibly be in there that she'd be able to use against you?
With it,
aren't you just looking for the truth on what's happening with the pedophiles and what's going on with Epstein? You know, aren't you just after the truth?
Due process.
Just doing your job.
That's what we're going to demand from the Department of Justice. That's what I'm going to tell Mike Johnson as well when I get to speak to him. I left him a message on the way here, because we need a process where we know that the Department of Justice is not spying on us as members of Congress.
Can we?
How absurd. This is just fun to watch.
Police have arrested a registered sex offender who previously spent more than 15 years on McNeil Island as a sexually violent predator.
I don't know what that's about.
DOJ monitoring. Wait,
what did you make of
this?
Okay. DOJ's monitoring
Like
history unredacted Epstein files?
It is a violation of the separation of powers for them to essentially be monitoring our computer.
How's that?
Searches on the Epstein file. So I think it's outrageous that they would do that, and it's Orwellian. And
they're not stopping you or interfering in any of your legislative activities. So how is that a violation of separation of powers? They're not preempting yours. They're not subverting yours.
We're going to have some more to say about it soon.
Do you know if Congressman Jayapal was the only person?
We have reason to believe that it was happening to everybody who went over there, that they were monitoring everybody's computer searches.
What gives you reason to believe that?
We'll be having more to say about this later.
But is that something that you guys learned from DOJ directly or from?
We'll be having something.
DOJ monitoring.
Oh boy. These morons. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Elon has got to get his shit figured out. Because why is that even there? Okay, let's see.
Justice Department apparently tracking lawmakers' searches as they went to DOJ to look for various things in the Epstein files. There was this Reuters photo that showed a piece of paper that Bondi was holding in this hearing. Pramila Jayapal's search history. Now, it turns out that Jayapal went and talked to the speaker about this. And you guys know, I mean, the speaker doesn't often criticize the administration, but even he came out and told reporters that lawmaker searches are like tracking those are probably pretty inappropriate at this point. And we also have to keep in mind that Republicans right now want to be able to go after the Justice Department for looking up their phone records after January 6th. Not that I'm equating these two, but, you know, it's just, does the DOJ need to sort of back off on this, Sean? Justice Department apparently tracking lawmakers' searches as they went to DOJ to look for.
Yeah, what about those phone records, man? Okay, like, they did that bullshit. Now all of a sudden there's a problem? Look at all the complaining about this. Oh man, they were looking very close at her notes. They got their photographers. Look at that, man.
Your ex-boyfriend didn't ghost you.
No, sir. Okay.
Appropriate conduct.
I'm not going to comment on an allegation that is unsubstantiated.
Mr. Speaker, Congresswoman Jayapal accused the DOJ of tracking her search history. Is that appropriate conduct?
Jayapal accused the DOJ of tracking her search history. Is that appropriate conduct?
I'm not going to comment on an allegation that is unsubstantiated. I don't know anything about that.
Attorney General Bondi testified, and she had a piece of paper that had Jayapal's search history in her mind of the Epstein files.
I don't know anything about that, he responds. So nothing out of him. I wonder how much complaining we'll see from certain Republicans on this. That's why I'm continuing to scroll here. I was hoping to get some reactions from more Congress people, but I'm sure we'll be seeing those today as they make their rounds on the media for the day. All right, let's keep going. We'll keep moving here. We got more to get to, so. Oh, Arizona, yes. What is going on in Arizona? We heard hints yesterday that something is coming today, so. But this is, that's still Nancy Guthrie. By the way, isn't that interesting? All this bullcrap going on in Tucson, in the exact area where apparently there's about to be a major fraud case spinning up, just like Fulton County, but Maricopa County, Arizona now. How weird. Inconvenient.
We now have an estimated description of that horrifying masked figure seen right here at the front door of Nancy Guthrie's home in that arched entryway behind me. The FBI is now calling that person a suspect. They estimate that he is between 5'9" and 5'10". They are calling him a male with an average build. You see him with the gloves and the mask and the backpack on right there in front of Nancy Guthrie's door. The reward for the information leading to an arrest has been increased to $100,000. The suspect is also believed to be carrying a backpack called an Ozark Trail Hiker backpack. The FBI believes that is what he was carrying that night. You see a picture there on your screen right now. You see those two reflective stripes on the, the armbands there, or the straps. And the FBI believes that's what you're seeing reflecting in the surveillance video. Also, the Pima County Sheriff here is asking anyone with a camera in the area, specifically East Skyline Drive and North Campbell Avenue, it's about a 2-mile radius, to check their video from January 1st to February 1st and submit the video to the Pima County Sheriff's online link. They're looking for people, cars, or anything suspicious. And the sheriff is defending his decision to send evidence to a lab in Florida instead of turning it over to the feds. Sheriff Nanos disputes if there's any friction with the federal agents, and he tells 13 News in Tucson that he wants all the evidence to be submitted to the same lab in Florida. That's what he routinely does.
Okay. How about just do both?
Yesterday, Savannah Guthrie posted a video to Instagram, her latest post about this horrifying ordeal. The video appears to depict her mother, Nancy, many years ago with Savannah and her sister Annie. And the caption says, "Our lovely mom, we will not give up on her."
Weird. Okay. Oh boy, what kind of theatrics is she doing now? Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace says the Epstein files reference prominent Hollywood celebrities being invited to a movie showing organized by Epstein associates long after he was convicted and served time in prison.
There was an event with several Hollywood celebrities that the Epstein group was trying to rent out a venue to do a movie showing with these Hollywood celebrities.
What movie?
Long after he was convicted and served time in prison for being a pedophile. And so when I would see this, these are names everybody knows. These are movie stars, these are media pundits, these are billionaires. It's really unbelievable, and it's shocking what has gone on here. The other thing that's shocking is that the DOJ hasn't made a single arrest of anybody else except for, save for, one accomplice. And we all know that is not humanly possible. You can't have thousands of victims and only one accomplice. Somebody drove the car, somebody flew the planes, somebody opened the doors, someone was the housekeeper. All these properties, there were witnesses. And then there were other cases of some of these billionaires who are allegedly involved in the sex trafficking operation that were paying money in settlement agreements, in civil settlement agreements, monies to other countries. I read a document this morning with Leon Black's name in it, allegedly, that paid off women in settlements for allegedly being sexually assaulted. So I'm going to get to the bottom of this, but my most and my greatest concern is that nothing's going to happen after this. And my biggest priority is to make sure that we get the information out there so that people go to jail. And if the DOJ is going to do their job, then I will do their job for them. And if it means we shame these people out of civil society and out of existence, then that's what we're going to do. If they're not going to go to jail, then that's what we're going to do.
Surprisingly low key and this is good. Nancy Mace is usually so like over the top and like just cringe and dumb. Sorry, but she can be. This is actually quite good.
The other thing that I realized this week is that this goes back decades. This isn't just the current administration. This isn't just the Biden administration. This isn't just Obama. This goes back to George Bush's administration, to his DOJ, to his FBI.
India's main main opposition group calls for the resignation of the country's oil minister because of his alleged links to Jeffrey Epstein. Geez, here more yet again. Resignations. A lot more to come, it looks like. Okay, U.S. Consulate Munich. Welcome back to Germany. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has arrived in Munich to lead the U.S. delegation at the Munich Security Conference, engaging with global leaders at this premier forum. Charge Meltzer? No idea. Welcomed him on arrival. We're proud to support Secretary Rubio and the U.S. delegation in Munich to advance U.S. foreign policy and security objectives. All right. Elon Musk's X is reportedly working on letting users filter posts by country. Huh. That could absolutely be a useful feature in certain scenarios. India, for one, I would probably filter. Almost, actually, yeah, 100%. I would just, yep. Bye-bye, India. Goodbye. A bunch of African countries, too. Instant mute. Nigeria and some others. They're just obnoxious. If you've never run into them, be grateful. Bobo, what are you doing? Just jumps into the lap, jumps down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. With claws the whole time. It's fun. Just to make it interesting. Elon Musk. Okay, we did. Trump sends his second aircraft carrier to the Gulf. One of the officials said the carrier would take at least a week to reach the Middle East region. Last time there were 2 aircraft carriers in the area was when the U.S. bombed Iran last year. So, there you go. 2 people are dead and another wounded after shooting at South Carolina State University residential complex. Oh boy, I wonder what happened here.
Breaking news overnight of a deadly shooting that put South Carolina State University on lockdown. School officials say 2 people were killed and another person was hurt. This happened at a residential complex at the HBCU in Orangeburg. Police are looking for a suspect. The lockdown is now over, but the university has canceled classes today. Breaking news overnight of a deadly shooting that put South Carolina State University on lockdown. School officials say 2 people were killed and another person was hurt. This happened at a residential complex at the HBCU in Orangeburg. Police are looking for a suspect. The lockdown is now over, but the university has canceled classes today. Breaking news overnight of a deadly shooting that put South Carolina State University on lockdown. School officials say 2 people were killed and another person was hurt. This happened at a residential complex at the HBCU in Orangeburg. Police are looking for a suspect. The lockdown is now over, but the university has canceled classes today. Breaking news overnight of a deadly shooting that put South Carolina State University on lockdown. School officials say 2 people were killed and another person was hurt. This happened.
Sorry. Yeah, I was up late last night. I actually didn't. I don't think I really hardly slept at all. It was a long night. Let's see. Columbia University axes personnel after files reveal Ivy League admitted Epstein's girlfriend through irregular admissions. Which girlfriend is this? Okay. I'm gonna put a clip on here and go make some tea too. I need a little bit of caffeine. And coffee wasn't enough. Karina Shuliak, native of Belarus. Epstein's last known actual girlfriend. Oh, look at her. Young. Must have been quite young. Jeez. All right. So he looks like he was probably paying some people off to get her admitted. Jeez, man. The CIA posted what appeared to be a recruiting video in Mandarin Chinese on its official YouTube channel in the wake of Chinese President Xi Jinping's recent purge of high-level military officials. Oh, they need some fresh meat.
Purge of high-level. If you're scrolling on YouTube and speak fluent Mandarin, you may have noticed a video on the CIA's official page. It appears to be a CIA recruiting video, hoping to take advantage of turmoil in China in the wake of Xi Jinping's recent purge of high-level military officials. The video is highly produced and highlights a Chinese man contemplating his family's future. The video ends with a graphic on how to securely contact the CIA.
Oh, I wish they'd show it. Oh well. John Solomon suggested, okay, this is, yeah, him from yesterday talking about something coming in Maricopa County.
I've been telling you all week, keep an eye in Arizona. Keep an eye in Arizona. I think there's a Georgia-like event in Arizona, like what happened in Fulton County. I think tomorrow is a likely day. So I just want to put that on your calendar. Keep an eye tomorrow. I see Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem going down there. Now, why is that important? The Homeland Security Department oversees the election machines and election counting capabilities. CISA and the Homeland Security Department deal with that. The FBI Justice Department deal with criminal violations. So she's down there for a reason, and I think my reporting suggests that there will be some sort of important election integrity event tomorrow, Maricopa County in Arizona.
It's a big deal. Very big deal.
The state after Georgia to have that sort of treatment. So, but
Fulton County and Maricopa, that changes the entire game. And calls everything into question about 2020. If that, if they succeed in that, boy, is it going to get interesting. Today, Don Lemon said to be arraigned on federal criminal charges in connection with his protest in Minnesota, in the Minnesota church, which he totally didn't organize and totally wasn't a part of. He was just there doing a journalism. Okay, guys. He just happened to be there.
Looking and asking for that. He's
Mamdani is already asking for more money again. That didn't take long.
Been on the job for just 42 days, but New York Mayor Mamdani today in Albany looking and asking for money. Political folk call it Tin Cup Day. The new mayor, already facing a $7 billion budget deficit, needs even more to pay for his agenda. Will the legislature and will Governor Hochul greenlight the mayor's plans for higher taxes on corporations and New Yorkers earning more than $1 million? Here's NJ Perkins.
After 2 weeks spent turning over rocks at City Hall, Mayor Mamdani announced today that the budget deficit is no longer $12 billion.
We have lowered that $12 billion gap to $7 billion.
Testifying before a joint budget hearing in Albany, the mayor admitted that his team had underestimated income from Wall Street salaries and bonuses and identified $1 billion in efficiencies, but insisted that it's not nearly enough.
I believe that the wealthiest individuals and most profitable corporations should contribute a little bit more so that everyone can live lives of dignity. That's why, along with raising the corporate tax, I'm asking for a 2% raise in personal income taxes on the most affluent New Yorkers.
But the mayor's request raised more than a few eyebrows.
We can't keep raising taxes and have people fleeing.
You're talking about free busing, free childcare, so that's pretty ambitious. The state is in serious fiscal trouble as well.
I have a big concern because of your philosophy. So do you have any concern about that?
I am confident that people will continue to stay in the city. There's no doubt in my mind that what should be driving all of our politics are the needs of working people.
Even those who agreed with Mamdani had questions of their own.
All right, well, we'll grow the pie, and we need to make sure that you have your priorities in order.
Governor Kathy Hochul has ruled out tax increases. Andrew Ryan of the Citizens Budget Commission says Mamdani shouldn't need higher taxes.
Increasing taxes risks alienating and driving away businesses that create jobs and people who disproportionately pay a lot in our taxes that fund our public schools, our police, our sanitation. We need to be competitive. That's why we should hold the line on taxes.
Andrew Ryan says the mayor can find the money in his own budget. But Mamdani clearly believes that popular support for taxing millionaires is growing and that state lawmakers may be underestimating that. At City Hall, NJ Burke at Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Yeah. Trump warns we have to make a deal with Iran, or it's going to be very traumatic as the U.S. moves military assets into the region.
Two things happening here and why we're increasing our force posture in the region. And unbeknownst, because you don't see it, there's scores of aircraft and missiles that are being put into the region, and this has been going on for weeks, to the multiple bases that we have throughout the Middle East region. And some of them offset from the Middle East too, because of the range that they can go to the target in. And obviously, we also have capability back in the United States, as we demonstrated very clearly during Midnight Hammer. The bombing runs were all made by aircraft from the United States Continental itself. So the second carrier group is coming, and it absolutely is needed with all of these other things to do two things. One is to make certain that we're able to defend our U.S. bases in the region, and also to help Israel defend its bases and certainly its population centers, which were under attack during the 12-day war. And then the second thing is to conduct a comprehensive offensive campaign that is quite comprehensive, not just against their offensive capability, which is thousands of missiles, launchers to support that, and drone storage sites, short-range rockets. These are the weapons that they will use to retaliate, and retaliate they will. They demonstrated that during the 12-day war, and we have to be properly prepared for that. And the means to do that is, one, we want to defend against it, whatever is launched, and two, prevent as much of it from being launched as possible. So I would see early on in the air campaign, we're going to strike that offensive capability they have, in addition to leadership targets and the entire infrastructure that is literally sustaining this regime will likely be in the crosshairs of what we're doing.
Very well could be. Delcy Rodriguez of Venezuela here on Venezuela's oil sales to the U.S., talking to NBC.
De petróleo que hizo Venezuela a los Estados Unidos a través de empresas ha sido de justicia comercial en el marco de...
I can't understand you.
This
Go back to your country. Grassy ass.
Sale of oil from Venezuela to the U.S. has been done exclusively and commercially through PDVSA.
A través de canales de venta como cualquier comprador que viene y compra el petróleo en Venezuela, y de allí en adelante lo que se haga con ese petróleo ya no es propiedad de Venezuela.
All the prices have been established correctly through mechanisms and normal channels as it's done internationally. And I can tell you that regarding the trade relationship in international terms and mechanisms is, guaranteeing that the income is used in Venezuela correctly.
You can guarantee that the income will go to rebuilding Venezuela and helping the people of Venezuela?
Absolutamente, absolutamente. Lo primero es que te tengo que reafirmar que a pocos días de haber jurado como presidenta encargada de Venezuela.
So, absolutely, yes.
We'll see, Ms. Rodriguez. Kansas City, Missouri Police Department is looking for... Oh, yeah, this lady. This is so funny. So this bitch, this moron idiot, tried to set fire to this warehouse building, but sucked ass so bad at it that she just straight up failed. She didn't set it on fire. Watch. Hilarious. Not enough. Yep, look at it. Already fizzling. Look at that. Not enough. I don't know why she thought she could set fire to a building constructed out of these materials, but hey, nice try. Now you get your reward, you winner, you. A nice vacation in federal prison. Whenever they get her, which they will. I mean, look at, someone's going to recognize that. And quick. Nam Chomsky's wife admits serious errors in judgment over, his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Wow. So what about him? I know he's getting up there. He's really old, but is he not speaking for himself anymore? Oh, I guess not. Age 97, confronting significant health challenges since he suffered a stroke in 2023. 97. Jeez. So, allegedly, according to her, the two first met Epstein in 2015 and were unaware at the time of his 2008 jail term for soliciting prostitution from an underage girl. Unaware. Didn't bother Googling him, I guess. By 2015, the accusations against Epstein had been the subject of hundreds of news articles, many of which detailed the allegations that he had paid dozens of underage girls for sex. So it's not like there was a lack of search results that would have come up had they bothered, or even, I don't know, even just asked around a little bit. Yeah, I don't buy it. They knew. Illegals are stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars in SNAP benefits. Duh. Thanks to Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey's sanctuary policies.
To El Primo restaurant in Leominster looking for answers, but no one was available to take our questions. What's advertised as a home for authentic Dominican dishes, federal officials say was a hub for fraud.
These defendants used stolen identities from victims across the country.
U.S. Attorney Leah Foley told reporters that the owner of El Primo, 37-year-old Raul Fernandez Vicioso, and 3 others, including 2 Venezuelan nationals, used stolen identification to fraudulently collect more than $400,000 in federal food assistance benefits, or SNAP, and $700,000 in federal unemployment benefits from Rhode Island and Massachusetts. These pictures from court documents showing how the group allegedly used the funds to buy food in bulk and use it in the restaurant.
Oh my God.
To El Primo restaurant.
How insane.
In Leominster looking for.
It's not the first time I've heard that they've places doing that. Apparently pretty dang common. Carolyn Levitt on Fox this morning.
The FBI, in order to take over the investigation, would, of course, need the local authorities to hand it over to them. And I spoke with Director Patel late last night, and he assured me the FBI has been on the ground. In fact, Director Patel himself was on the ground in Arizona this week, and that we are offering the full resources and weight of the federal government to help local authorities bring this case to an end, to bring Nancy Guthrie home. President Trump immediately offered that when this case was first heard about, when this news broke. And our hearts break every day that this goes on. And again, the FBI is on the ground wanting to assist in any way that they can, and they have. You saw last night, Director Patel and the FBI released additional information and photo evidence. They have also upped the reward for anyone who comes forward with the suspect. And of course, they have the FBI tip line, which they are actively working to work through any credible tips that can lead to a closure in this horrific case. The FBI... open. And unfortunately, it appears that Democrats are, President Trump has been and always will be on the side of the American people. He wants our government to remain open. And unfortunately, it appears that Democrats are barreling our government towards another shutdown.
Oh, yeah. It's coming. It's coming. Operation Metro Surge in Minnesota has been a resounding success, she says. Resulted in detention and deportation of more than 4,000 illegal alien criminals. While the surge is coming to an end, enforcement in Minnesota absolutely will not. Lefties losing their minds over a fleet of shiny new rides pulling up to the Whipple Ice Facility. I mean, they've destroyed so many. What did they expect? Of course they're going to replace them. Hopefully this is a sign that more employees are coming too. U.S. government to add Alibaba to list of companies that it says are aiding the Chinese military. Duh. Of course they are. They don't really have a choice in the matter, to be honest. From what I understand, they really kind of don't have a say in the matter. Alibaba, I mean, they basically have to. It's a condition of doing business at all, to begin with, whatsoever, in China. A CODEL, C-O-D-E-L, or congressional delegation, refers to an official government-funded trip taken by U.S. senators or representatives, like overseas trip, usually. Pelosi is attending the Munich Security Conference in her personal capacity after the House CODEL was canceled yesterday. Huh. So they had a CODEL set up. I don't know if she was a part of that or what, but she's going anyway. The House CODEL to the Munich Security Conference is officially canceled. I wonder why. What happened to that? What's the deal? According to a message sent to lawmakers obtained by MS Now, the cancellation comes as DHS is set to face funding lapse on Friday at midnight. Given that votes are no longer expected in the House and a partial shutdown of DHS will occur at 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, we will be pulling down official travel for the House delegation to the Munich Security Conference. Oh boy. Illegal alien arrested for trafficking cocaine in front of Texas elementary school. Armed with 2 shotguns, an AK-47, an AR-15, and a shitload of ammunition. And the Democrat Party is shutting down the government to defund ICE and protect people like this.
Cool. As being charged with manufacturing cocaine near a Jarrell Elementary School. The Williamson County Sheriff's Office says its organized crime unit was investigating a drug trafficking operation which led to the Monday arrest of Reza in the 800 block of County Road 307, just 100 feet away from an elementary school. During the arrest, detectives reported that Reza was in possession of individually bagged cocaine and multiple firearms, including a stolen shotgun. Authorities also determined Reza was unlawfully present in the United States. As a result, ICE has placed an immigration detainer on Reza. Juan Reza is being charged with manufacturing cocaine near a Gerald Elementary School. The Williamson County Sheriff's Office says its organized crime unit was investigating a drug trafficking operation which led to the Monday arrest of Reza in the 800 block of County Road 307, just 100 feet away from an elementary school. During the arrest, detectives reported that Reza was in possession of individually bagged cocaine and multiple firearms, including a stolen shotgun. Authorities also determined Reza was unlawfully present in the United States. As a result, ICE has placed an immigration detainer on Reza. Juan Reza is being charged with manufacturing cocaine near a Gerald Elementary School. The Williamson County Sheriff's Office says its organized crime unit was investigating a drug trafficking operation which led to the Monday arrest of Reza in the 800 block of County Road 307, just 100 feet away from an elementary school. During the arrest, detectives reported that Reza was in possession of individually bagged cocaine and multiple firearms, including a stolen shotgun. Authorities also determined Reza was unlawfully present in the United States. As a result, ICE has placed an immigration detainer on Reza. Juan Reza is being charged with manufacturing cocaine near a Gerald Elementary School. The Williamson County Sheriff's Office says its organized crime unit was investigating a drug trafficking operation which led to Monday arrest.
Sorry, falling asleep again. Yeah. Yeah, I need to go get some rest after this, you guys. I had a long night. And you know, I need to go get that tea, actually. I microwaved it.
You could just book.
Gotta go fetch
I got plenty to play.
Oh, you want to take the wheel, man? I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, I'm just so freaking exhausted, man. All right. Well, I guess I'll call it quits there. I appreciate you, bro.
What's partying?
Huh? No, I was up working all night. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
You have a great day.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna go get some rest, you guys. Thanks. See y'all later.
All right. Later.
All right, YouTube. Guess that's it for me. Oh man. Yep. My apologies. I just was working last night and like it was getting a lot done. Just in the flow state, and time just got away from me, and before I knew it, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. So I light was coming out into the window. I had no idea it had been so long. So I got maybe like 20 minutes of rest, sleep, if you can call it that, before coming on air. So, obviously not, I was running on fumes, so I will, hopefully be more rested when I see you next tomorrow afternoon. But have a good rest of your day, good rest of your Friday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right.